Just generally, are we all okay? Physical health notwithstanding, are we all right? Because it's been a bit quiet of late. And Josh, I know you've been moving. Wesley, I know you've been bonkers at work. Keith, have you been bonkers at work, or are you just
It's
like
it's starting to heat up. So this is it's starting to get warm out, it's starting to get nice out, and I have a lot of
right?
seasonal accounts,
Oh, okay,
and they're poking their head up for the season.
right, okay, cool.
I was wondering the
Jay,
same thing too, because it was kind of like
yeah. And Jason, you've been golfing a bit.
I
I
went
saw
to
you at the
yeah, I went
Masters or
to
something.
the Masters tournament
Okay,
a couple
okay.
weeks ago in
Awesome.
Augusta. It was awesome. Yeah, yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah.
yeah,
I'm
sounds like a
drinking out of
blast.
some water out of one of the
Cool.
cups, the souvenir cups that you get with your beer.
How'd it hold up? Experience was great.
Oh yeah, yeah, it was awesome. It was it's it's weird. It's kind of Disney World-ish. You go in through a gate, they scan your ticket, they check your bags, you go through a metal detector, and then you kind of go past a gift shop where there's a line of people and there's trees and stone steps, and then you walk out and the golf course just like opens up and it's immaculate. Like I mean, like what it looks like on TV. They put a lot of work into that course, and then you're kind
Yeah.
of when you're there, you're there for the day. A lot of walking. I walked probably 24,000
Oh
steps,
yeah.
almost 9
Oh
miles,
wow.
and the equivalent of 16 flights. It's very hilly.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Oh yeah.
so I was tired.
What was the
And
best food you ate?
the food's all right. It's very affordable.
Yeah.
Yeah, very affordable. Like the barbecue pork sandwich is $3.
Yeah.
Um,
Barbecue pork
Right.
sandwich.
yeah.
There's a
Do they
thing.
have that over there?
I've never heard of that.
They talk about that with the
I mean, we
Masters.
have bacon sandwiches
Yeah,
and
no,
you have
this is like
barbecue
a
things. You
this is
very
like
rarely put barbecue in a sandwich. I mean,
this is like a smoked, pork shoulder pork or whatever, and then they
Oh
like
yeah.
kind of pull it
oh,
apart,
so it's
like
pulled pork.
pulled pork.
Correct.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Okay, I'm with you. Yeah, we have
yeah,
that.
yeah, pulled
Yeah.
pork. Yeah.
Okay.
They're known for their pimento cheese
Right.
sandwich.
I sold a lot of pimento cheese that week.
It was not bad. It was creamy. There's a local um dairy place that has like a cream cheese that's better, but I mean a
Oh,
pimento
cool.
cheese that's better, but
Yeah,
it's
yeah, yeah.
pretty good. But my friend took the pimento cheese and put it on top of his pulled pork sandwich and said that was the key. And the breakfast sandwich was pretty good.
Sorry, I
Pretty
was
good.
checking my light.
I
What
was wondering
what
when he was
days
going.
what days did you go?
Wednesday.
Okay.
It was a practice round, kind of the end of the practice round and the par three tournament. Which was the par
Sorry.
three tournament was fun. It's on a smaller, I mean, it's on a par three course. It's not, I thought they kind of retrofitted the main course, but it's another course. But it's fun. You've got current players and you've got older players like Gary Player and Tom Watson were playing, and then they've got the people's wives and kids and
Yeah.
caddying for them, and they'll let them hit shots or putts and stuff. So it's fun. We saw where we were sitting for the par three, we saw 3 hole-in-ones, so that was pretty
Wow.
cool.
Nice.
So yeah, it was a long day. But the food's pretty good and not outrageously priced. Souvenirs are a little bit more, but you can only get that stuff there. So but yeah, we were lucky that we won the lottery and got to buy tickets. So they're only like $100 for
That's
practice
killer.
round tickets if you get selected.
I've had a couple friends who won it that way. Some people know a guy or it's a company,
Right,
endorsement thing
right.
through their company.
Yeah.
But that's the being a caddy for 20 years. Like that's the that's the event that even people who are not golf fans that, you say, hey, check out the Masters, just watch the coverage. And if you don't get it, depending on whatever sport you played and wherever you come from, there's just a draw. The course, the players that are at that high level, it's just killer golf.
Yeah,
So
it was one of the best run events I've ever been to.
sure,
I
that's good to
mean,
hear.
best everybody working. If you had a question, they knew exactly where to send you.
Yeah.
Much like episode 200 then.
So,
Um,
Not like our golf course.
right, but
Yeah.
yeah, it was a good event. I called it Golf Con. My friend got
Okay.
annoyed that I called because there's some fandom there. There's people buying souvenirs. It's got a Disney World vibe. There's a Kentucky Derby feel to it too. So it's kind of a mix of a lot of stuff.
listen, I'm still slightly jaw on the floor and reeling on the ropes by the fact that there's a player called Gary Player.
Yeah.
Oh,
Gary
yes.
Player, the player.
He's a
Legend.
I guess he's I don't know if I would say he's retired.
Did he change his name?
He's
Or was
from
that his
South
name?
he's from South Africa. He's 80 something years old.
South
Wow.
Africa.
Yeah.
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 Diplomatic immunity. Anyway, don't get me started on my Lethal Weapon 2
Oh
impressions.
man.
That is a banging film, isn't it? Lethal Weapon 2.
Oh
I
God.
like
I mean,
that
I'm sorry,
one,
that
yeah.
that is the Empire Strikes Back of that set of films for me.
Yeah.
Lethal Weapon
Yeah.
2 is absolutely like spot on.
I still like one a little bit
Oh,
better.
one is amazing. Don't get me
Yes.
wrong. One is amazing.
But two is good.
But two, just like, yeah. And then three. So,
Three's not.
yeah,
No.
three. So, oh, yeah. Let's give him more Pesci.
Yeah, and four was
Oh, yeah. I forgot they made a four.
Yeah,
I liked
actually,
4, but it had Jet Li in it, and that was why. So I'm partial.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, there we go.
three was really horrible. I remember watching it once and like this is kind of boring. Like
I was I went to see Lethal Weapon 3, I think, and I took I think what you would call now as an edible, but it was like someone had made like truffles basically. They make like it's a tray bake thing, and you cut them up. It's like a fudge type thing, and they put shitloads of cannabis in it basically. And we bought them off someone who worked at Stage Door, one of the theatres, in little batches. Now have one of them, and your evening's completely sorted. Anyway, me and a mate went into the cinema and took one of these each before Lethal Weapon 3, and we just pissed ourselves laughing throughout the entire movie. And it felt like the movie was only 20 minutes long. It's great.
Yeah.
So the first time I saw
Wow.
Lethal Weapon 3, I was top hole. We chose not to drop an edible before Saving Private Ryan, and I think that was
Yeah,
probably the right
probably a
move.
good
I
idea.
think that was probably the right move.
Yeah.
There are movies that I wish I had dropped one of those before. But
Is that a
that's not one
suggestion
of them.
for episode 300?
Seriously, we should do one of these where we're doing like you heard of drunk story time, stuff like that, yeah? Where people
Yeah.
like drinking and
Oh,
telling
yeah.
stories.
yeah.
I think we should seriously. I mean, I don't know what your proclivities are. Keith, I know you like a drink. Wesley, I don't know if you do or you don't partake. For all I know, Josh and Jason, you could be recovering alcoholics, and we could be leading you down a really dark path right now. However, if you were up for it, I'd really love to do a drunk episode of this podcast.
Ooh,
The only thing is,
absolutely.
I'm not sure we could ever air it because we'd start saying,
Probably true.
I think Jason and I would shine in that. I know Jason likes himself some IPAs.
Yeah, it's been suggested when I had my old Heroes and Hops podcast, my friend said I should do drunk comics where I got just progressively drunk and try to explain a story arc or something from a
Oh no, you need to do that. That has to be a segment. Like that's absolutely.
So yeah, I think we should do it. I think we should do it. I mean, name your poison of choice. Make sure you're not working either late. Naturally, no. We should probably do it evening your time, which means it'll be late. Yeah, if we do it late evening, like my time, early evening your time, that's probably going to be slightly more doable for you. Make sure you haven't got to work the following day, and our chances are I'll already be a bit pissed by the time we start
Yeah.
because it'll be late evening for me. So yeah, we should do it.
Perfect.
Let's get it in the
Yeah,
calendar.
absolutely.
Let's get it in the
All right.
calendar. Anyway, I'm going to keep that bit in, by the way. That's going to be before. That's going to be before the intro. Anyway, Hello,
And then
everybody.
every
Oh.
episode they'll ask, "Is this the drunk episode?" No, 'cause
Yeah. I couldn't do a drunk episode with the former co-host because he didn't really drink. But yeah, now all bets are.
Oh yeah.
Right. The Marvel Card Collectors podcast is sponsored by Budweiser. I'm sure we can come up with a nicer. Wouldn't it be great if someone like Budweiser did throw loads of sponsorship at us?
Oh,
I mean, it'd
Yeah.
be wonderful.
Please.
I mean, they won't.
Absolutely.
They won't. But
no.
because I don't think our reach is quite enough for their sponsorship.
Well,
at the moment.
they've been reaching lately, so
Really?
uh,
Okay. All right.
yeah.
Well, Mr. Budweiser, if you want to reach out, then only thing is, I refuse to start an episode going "What's up?"
Mm. Yeah.
Me too.
I'm not going to do that. Anyway, hello everybody. Welcome to the Marvel Card Collectors podcast. You've already probably been listening to us for a couple of minutes by now. Your weekly digest of hobby goodness. I've a stinking cold and I may be coughing throughout this episode, so apologies for those easily offended by illness. It's tough. We've got a full house this week. It's the first time I've seen all your happy faces in quite a while, actually. When's the last time we sat down to record together? All of us.
2 weeks.
Three.
No, three.
No, where we got
Oh,
everybody?
maybe.
Yeah, everybody's a while.
Yeah, you're right.
I think-
That probably has been.
I think it's probably 5 or 6 weeks now because
Yeah.
Ben Brady was Jason and Wesley
Yeah.
for a little bit.
No,
People
I
won't have
wasn't
heard that
there.
yet. Oh no, they might have
was-
heard that. Don't
I
know.
came in late on that, didn't I?
I wasn't there for Ben.
Think so, yeah.
Yeah,
Not
I
as
came in
late
halfway.
as Dre did for episode 200, where he dialed in
Right.
just after we'd stopped recording.
As we're signing off.
Yeah,
Hey guys.
as we're signing off. And then in comments said on the photo says, where was I? I said we stopped recording by the time you appeared. So we'd actually done all the sign off, and all of a sudden Dre is dialing in. Anyway, so this week we've got Josh,
Hey.
we've got Jason,
Hello.
we've got Keith,
How you doing?
and we've got Wesley. There we go.
Ew.
There's this whole left-right thing. I can't do it at all. This is going to be a lazy river episode, guys. We're just going to settle in and just see where it takes us and chat about all sorts of stuff. We might go hot button, or you might be feeling rather more chilled than that. I don't know. If there's anything hot button you want to say, let's go for it. By way of starting this off, I was going to talk about platinum, but I've decided I'm not going to. I'm going to talk about Finding Unicorn because they have been putting out sets in the Asian market for a couple of years now. They've got the license over there. I've no idea where this company came from. I've no idea if they're a new company or if they just suddenly picked up the Marvel license and they've been existing for quite a while. But they finally brought out a set that has Black Cat in it. So all of a sudden,
Yeah.
I'm paying
There we are.
attention.
Yep.
I'm like the meerkat poking out the hole. So it's a set called Marvel. Is it Marvel Universe Evolution? Marvel Comics Evolution. Anyway, you know what? I don't care. But Black Cat is in it. And let me just spotlight myself. Spotlight for everyone. That's the base card,
Oh, that's nice.
and the foiling on
nice.
it is beautiful. You'll just get a sense of it. Look at that.
Is the
Yeah.
card actually like a different type of stock? I was watching somebody else open this, and or how's it feel compared to?
Oh yeah, I mean it feels just like an upper deck card in
Okay.
in terms of it's a glossy finish. There's no texture to it in any way. Like those shapes,
35
size, or form.
PT, is it?
Yeah. But yeah, just look at the silver substrate within that foil.
That's awesome.
That is
It's really
pretty
and
nice.
cool.
that and that's just the base.
That's the base. Okay,
Wow,
so it's unnumbered. She's on the back. The text is in English.
that's a nice base.
Yeah, it's really nice. It's really nice. And it took me a while. I have found kind of a checklist. It's actually an image that kind of tells you what's there. So I think there's about 10 parallels of this. So there's the base, and there's about 4 versions of it. I think there's a blue because I've got it on the way. There's a purple, which is this one here. So you can
Wow,
see
see,
there's
I
kind of a
really like
purpley
that.
vibe to that.
I like it.
And then
Yeah.
there's an
How
event-
does that Black Cat land for you guys? For
That's
you two?
That's a pretty good image.
Yeah,
I think it looks
seen
great.
artwork
That's
before, but
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
I like it.
I like the
I
Um,
suit.
can't
I like
tell
the
for sure. It
costume.
might be Humberto Ramos, maybe.
yeah, it doesn't say on the back. So Finding Unicorn, put the artist
Like
on the back. It's not just
again,
Upper Deck that do that.
yeah.
Um, so the back looks the same. It's not written. They don't write on it what it is. So there's the blue, there's the purple, there's one that's called Avengers Lava. So basically, it's on the way. It's got the Avengers logo kind of repeated in this area, and it's kind of a pinky, molten color. And I think it like the Avengers logo does something where you move it. It's just a bizarre name, and it could be a translation thing. But anyway, and then there's one that's just labeled SSP, which I haven't actually seen pop up. And then I think there's about 4 numbered ones. So there's those, and then she's in one of the chase elements of the set. There's a chase set called Mysterious Gene, Gene, and there are 16 of those. And I don't think there's parallels to them. It's just Mysterious Gene 1 to 16. And it's that.
No.
Now that is the artwork that was used on the 2019 Flare Power Blast card.
Oh yeah.
That
Okay.
Black put out. So it's and that wasn't original art. So this is comic art. I'm not sure who the artist is, but that'd be a little job for us to track that one down, Wesley, actually. Just do a Google image search on that because I'd like to find out the comic that was from. Be nice to pair that with the Power Blast and with this one. But yeah, it's a nice,
beautiful.
nice card. You've received a Mysterious Gene card. Enjoy your card.
These are some interesting parallel names.
But yeah, exactly. It doesn't. I mean, it kind of doesn't really make sense. I mean, I guess there's kind of a biological, sciencey
but that
kind of vibe
background
going on with
is
the background. Yeah,
awesome.
Yeah.
It looks great.
I mean, they're beautiful cards. Lovely foiling on them. The edges are clean.
So Izzy's been collecting these for a little bit now, and he's
Yeah.
been singing their praises, and I've been just like, stop!
Yeah.
I don't want something new. I don't want something new. I
Yeah.
don't need more stuff.
Price.
Yeah.
And I think they're going to start. We're going to see a lot more stuff out of them. They're doing a nice job. Their art procurement team is doing a good job as well.
Yeah, because they have sketches, don't they? In their sets.
Oh, they do. Oh, they do.
Keith, who did you say you thought the artist was for the black cat there?
I was thinking it was Humberto Ramos
For the base one.
for the base.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could be. Looks like it. I recognize it from somewhere. I've got my box of Black Cat issues down here. I should probably just go through it while one of you guys are talking in a minute and see if I can find it. But yes, and but I have to say I've seen some people breaking them like US side, but I haven't seen much on eBay at all. I think there is one seller at the moment who's just listed I think 3 base cards, but I think they're all the same in a Mysterious Gene in the US. But otherwise, all the ones I've got so far have come from China. And they've got
Do you think we
pretty
could see
quick as
them
well.
take off? And what do you think it would take for them to take off? Is it the right kind of content creator showing them, or
To be honest with you, I think. Well, I mean, take off in what way?
well, you don't see them in group. I
Yeah,
see a
you
lot of
know,
the
I mean,
sketches and the sketch
yeah,
stock and guys
you
trying
do
to sell
you do
that.
see them. Yeah, you do see them. I think, but yeah, you don't see them much. I think, to be honest with you, I think it's just a case of immediate accessibility to them. Obviously EPAC's immediately accessible, and Upper Deck products, physical, are pretty much accessible now. Everyone's going gaga over platinum, but you can go to all the big retailers now and buy most of the recent products. They're still out there. So people are doing that. I don't think any of those big American distributors, unless I'm wrong on this, are getting inboxes from Finding Unicorn. And
Yeah,
I think the part of the reason is Finding Unicorn stuff probably cannot be sold directly within the US because of the licensing.
Right.
Oh,
that
Because
makes
you
sense.
see what I mean? Upper Deck have the Marvel license for US, Canada, for trading cards and a few other territories as well.
Right.
Finding Unicorn will have it for whatever turf they're in. So I don't think Finding Unicorn could go to a Walmart and say, "Can you sell these in the US?" Because they'd be in breach of the Upper Deck deal. If that's what I mean. So I think it could be something to do with that. I think Izzy's a good one to mention. Black Cat's been in a lot of the sets so far because a lot of them have been MCU focused. So that's why they've been on his radar. That's why he's been going after them. But yeah, it's difficult to find a lot of you can't even find a checklist for some of these sets.
I know I haven't. There's been a couple times I've tried to go on eBay and look at some. You have things set to try to get certain characters, and
Yeah.
I haven't seen any.
Yeah. No, it's very
What's the
tricky.
basis of the name? Was there a comic line, Finding Unicron? What the only
Finding
thing?
Unicorn, I don't know. To be honest with you, I think that's just the manufacturer or brand
Okay.
name. It's like a pop culture thing. Because I did a quick look at their website and they sell all sorts of other stuff, including figures and
Ian, you
things
did a
like that.
box, or you
So
just got some loosies?
no, I just bought them loose,
Okay. 'Cause
So yeah,
I believe it's affordable too, even with
I
import
think so.
costs.
Yeah, I mean the thing is, of card sets that come out from that part of the world, I think the Caillou ones have had much more exposure in the US. People have been buying those in by the boatload and showing them in group. But Finding Unicorn has kind of just been on the periphery, really. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, they are lovely cards. If you're a character collector, it's definitely worth checking them out.
Yeah,
All right.
I've been impressed with what I've seen out of them. And I think a while back I saw, I don't know if it was in group, but from the Infinity Saga series that they had, there's like a line that has parallels. It's a comic art, and I did a deep dive on eBay looking at those. And I think I found a few on ComC. I didn't buy any, but I've come across, I see them a little bit more and more.
Yeah.
But not quite like Upper Deck or even the other one you mentioned. I see a lot of those.
Caillou. Yeah.
Yeah.
How
I
many?
think they're more TCG.
Is it a
Caillou.
big set? What are we talking for?
I think it's about 100 cards, but then you got the
100
parallels. So
130 cards.
yeah. There we go.
130.
I'm looking at stuff right now.
Both Keith and Wesley are busily online. I know Keith's looking up set info. Wesley's looking up to see if he can get the black cat on eBay.
Yeah, I mean a box is like $180, which in this market is
for the
pretty
quality
for
the quality of it,
pretty darn fair.
Yeah, it's fair.
I mean, $180 is the equivalent of like $100 pre-COVID.
And it'll be about 250 after this airs, but right now it's $180.
So we are pumping it, baby. Pump it.
Yeah.
Come on, pump it. We're pumping Finding Unicorn this week, kids. 'Cause apparently, as soon as you talk about it, we're pumpers. And I've been very much enjoying picking up a few of the old
Do we know like
Marvel Platinum? Oh, sorry.
is there an artist set listed for it? How many artists? How many?
What do you mean in terms of the sketches?
Yeah, well, and the base. Like, did they?
So the base is comic lifted.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not original art. Yeah.
As I'm looking right now, I recognize this gene from it's one of my favorites ever.
They're really nice choices as well. What I find interesting about them is that I would assume they've got access to a similar pool of stuff that Upper Deck do. And yet some of the stuff they're using, I'm just like, wow, okay, that's a really fresh image.
They're getting sharp at picking their images.
Well, they're getting sharp at picking stuff that hasn't been used,
okay,
or that might work for the design of their set.
Gotcha.
Or possibly they have a different. It could well be that in different regions, knowing how the big licensing and approvals and stuff for Disney is quite a difficult thing to navigate. They could have an entirely different set of library art to choose from. I don't know. Is the short answer. I'm just speculating.
It's a little all over the place. There's some stuff we've seen from Upper Deck. I see some Rittenhouse stuff in here.
Okay.
And some stuff I haven't seen. So
yeah, it's good. I strongly recommend folks just take a little walk through Finding Unicorn Lane on Dr. Google and see if you can see something that catches your eye, like Wesley is right now. He's licking his lips. Look at this. Look at
this. That Power Blast image is from Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man 3. It's a variant cover, so it must have been like from
which makes it Spider-Man 3 because there's been like 6 of those in the last 20 years.
Yeah, so the sets that are doing this more at first, I thought it was kind of like a cop out with Spider-Man Metal. I was like, oh, you're just trying to fill content and you're trying to just give us the original, cut it to 80 cards and make it original art. But I started to kind of change the way I looked at it with a few of these last sets when they select the images right, and
Yeah.
Granted, they're going to hit covers. They're going to go with a bunch of comic covers,
Yeah.
but as they kind of done this a few times now, they're starting to get sharp. And these cards, when you can present them with, like, I just got a, you guys help me, first appearance of Carnage.
Free Amazing Spider-Man 361.
Yeah,
One.
I was going to say mid three. So, and I was just able to pair that with the Spider-Man metal, one from the cover for the original Carnage,
Right.
and it looks
Nice.
awesome, when you frame it that way. And so yeah, these are growing on me a little bit. Doesn't have to be original art. Doesn't have
No,
to be.
no. Well, what floats my boat slightly, I was a bit of a poo-poo on this choice when I first saw it, but then when you get it with the autograph, it
looks
kind of
good.
really works. That platinum
Yeah.
black cat,
Really,
Yeah, that one looks
really
really cool.
because he's one of the creators.
and
So
it's clean. That card
yeah,
is clean.
they're really nice. I picked this up off a China seller actually, in China, about $70. So, and that's just the red regular auto. There are numbered ones, but they're going for crazy money. He says, having tried to acquire one this week and failing dismally.
I'm gonna try something.
But yeah, no, they're Oh, hang on, what's Wesley doing? He's
I'm
gone.
trying to see if I can show this. Oh
Oh,
wait, that's wrong.
oh, hello.
Wait,
Oh, careful.
Oh,
Now,
hey.
don't show us the
Oh.
wrong one,
You never
dear.
know what.
Okay. You never know what he's going to
A
have on there. I don't
different
know what he
night.
gets up to when he's not
Oh.
yeah,
podcasting.
better.
It's been a different night.
Close all those tabs before you do anything.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Look away. For those easily offended, look away now. Wesley's about to try and show us something on his computer.
It's
What have we got?
yeah. I
Josh,
can't,
next week, bust that frame out and show the class next week.
Yeah, absolutely. I still have a few things packed away that that I can unbox and bring some stuff out next week.
Oh, looking forward to that. Looking forward to that enormously.
I like to see how people do that card comic framing and all that stuff. I think it's really cool. So
Yeah, I like it. I need
How you
to do
getting on,
that.
Wesley? What are you looking for?
It was my thought was like, I've still never done like a true rainbow. And so I kind of went that route where I was like, all right, do a couple of these that way. Not have to go crazy on every version of the card.
yeah. Do it is attainable and fun. Don't make it a chore.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
The whole thing about rainbows is there's this whole slight elitism by people who say it's not a true rainbow unless you get this or this. It's like the whole true rainbow thing. It just slightly triggers me because a rainbow will be will stop when you are comfortable with it or where you are not getting yourself into financial trouble to kind of get it to the point where people will say, where you'll get the major thumbs up and you can flex.
Right.
It's like, it'll be what it'll be for you. But
there's no rules here.
There's no rules. It used to be when things, and that's the thing, there is a kind of a pre-COVID thing here. It was a lot more achievable to get rainbows. So,
there was way less inserts and variants.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Yes.
So, I mean, what is it? Marvel Beginnings, the plates, when it came out, that was the first. Well, actually, no, it wasn't the first set. Kree Skull War was the first set, but the first big release set, no one bought that. The first big set with plates was Marvel Beginnings. Back in the day, I was able to pick up the plates I needed really straightforward, and there was just one base card. So 5 cards, you got your
Right.
1 card, 4 plates. There's your rainbow. Now, it's going to be 3 to 4 pages in the binder for Black Cat, assuming you can get everything.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you're still able to collect a good majority of it. Because here's your problem now.
Yeah.
You've also got new kinds of collectors. You've got plate collectors. You've got guys that are just one-of-one collectors. You've got guys that want all the greens. Like, for example, if it's a metal set.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of obstacles in your way.
Yeah.
I think that you need to define what a rainbow can be. Like, so there's a rainbow, right? And then if you really do it and you get the green and you get the purple 1-of-1, let's say if it's a metal set, then you take like a Capcom thing and throw it on it. And now it's like a Mega Hyper Ultimate Fighting Edition rainbow.
Right. Yeah.
You still deserve that credit for pulling that off. And then even if you pull it out in a short form, you still have a rainbow regardless.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Right.
idea is the optical effect of having different versions of the card, being able to appreciate it like that.
Yeah.
Right.
So, and with this, you know, cover art and art being pulled from, now they're getting into the, you know, all sorts of different images, like the manga backgrounds, where it's just a bunch of the art cascaded on the background, just penciled. I've seen a couple like that are really cool, but it's basically like a shadow box thing, because there's the comic has one corner that doesn't have a lot of action on it, and that's usually the great place to set the card, whatever version of the card you choose, however, you know, rare you want to go, and you set it down in that corner. Now it doesn't disrupt the image because you're looking at the image of the card and like a kaleidoscope effect, if you will. So it's kind of an easy way to set something up and not have to go, because framing, when you get into real custom stuff, price, you know.
Oh yeah.
So with
That's
this,
what, yeah.
you can basically pick the comic, take a look at it, and whatever corner you choose, once you set it up there to the eye, it cascades. It doesn't, the card doesn't disrupt the image, because you can see the missing part of the image that the card blocks.
I still struggle to find affordable framing options.
Yes. Yeah.
There's just no in between the cheap stuff you find on Amazon and going to a framer. There's nothing in the middle.
Yeah.
And there are no framers around where I live now. Like those businesses are gone. You know, because no one uses
I used to do Michael's when I was getting a lot of stuff framed, and the manager was real good there, and she would, you know, frame my stuff. But usually I went when I got a coupon or when it was 50% off. They would have certain frames and mats 50% off or 35% off or whatever, and then that would be what I would select, and it ended up being a little bit more affordable. I still have frames that I probably paid more for than I did the actual art they're housing, but
yeah.
But I did go to, there's a place, I don't know if y'all have it, called Hobby Lobby. Hobby Lobby. I went there yesterday and they had just their stock frames and shadow boxes were 50% off. So I got picked up 3 shadow boxes for some other non-comic memorabilia stuff.
That's good to know.
For like 3 shadow boxes, different sizes, and it ended up being like $40 for the 3. And I looked, and one of them I think was like normally 32, so
not cheap.
Made out pretty well on, you know, 3 for $40 isn't too bad on that.
That's a deal.
That is a deal.
But Hobby Lobby is not open on Sundays, so the Chick-fil-A of crafts.
Yeah, you're in a weird position there with framing. Like, you can either try to come up with some stuff yourself. You can try to, because if you go to the stores that are local, if Ian, you don't have one anymore, but if you go to a place that's local, you know, to try to support a local business, they have to, you know, they have to cover their costs and stuff. When you get into custom stuff, it just gets really tough. So
yeah, I mean, they're small businesses at the end of the day, and you know, everything's got more expensive, so their costs have got to go up. My wife's been rather lucky recently. She works for local museum service, and at the end of the exhibition, they have a load of frames that have just been used once for the exhibition. Like, it's a professional standard frame. So, you know, an email went round. Her work, and she was like, she forwarded it to me. Do we need any frames? I was like, quickly measured up. I was like, yes. Can we have a dozen of those, please? Because they're like reflective glass, and you know, they'll have just been used for that. So we'll just get a cab home with them when they're available. But the thing is,
rent a truck.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say that's a U-Haul right there.
Yeah, like I can call somebody.
But I kind of figured, actually we won't use them for. I mean, I might use some for hobby stuff, depending on how big they are and relative to the stuff I've got. But I've got, we've both got loads of theatre posters from when we worked in the West End, so they'd be perfect to just put those in and have them in our hallway. So stuff like that, you know.
You put anything in them.
You can put anything in them. But I mean, I'll wait and see. I mean, I'm assuming they're going to be like the absolute, you know, chef's kisses, bee's knees frames. They might turn up to be some sort of, you know, fly-by-night pop art exhibition, and it was just like, you know, everything was really rough around the edges, like a levelers concert in the 90s. But we have Hobbycraft over here. Hobbycraft, all one word. And my daughter loves going in there. She goes in there and she picks up loads of stuff. She says, "Can I have these, Daddy?" And I get to the checkout, they add it all up, and I'm like, "Yes, yes, you can." I'm counting out my money. So it's not cheap, but they always have deals on as well. And they got like a membership scheme. They send you coupons and stuff like that. So it does get pretty affordable. But yeah, they have all those frames and things like that, and you can buy mats that are cut to different sizes with the beveling and all that sort of stuff. So, but no, I've seen horror stories of people who've gone to take. I think it was from Masterpieces 2020. Someone took the cards in to get them framed, and the person framing them actually stuck them.
Oh no!
I
And of
think I
course,
saw that.
that's game over on that. And I think it was a full 1-90 set as well. So, yeah, you got to be careful if you're going to get someone else to frame them, that they know what you do and don't, especially do with trading cards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, it's like, they might not know how to properly treat the collectible of choice.
Well, because sometimes you got kids working there. That's the thing.
Well, yeah, exactly. I'm very quickly just going to share my screen because Wesley found the cover that Black Cat came from,
I just
which I think you can all see now. Hopefully, it says my screen share is loading. I'm now screen sharing. There we go.
See, that's perfect.
There we go. That took a while. I have to pedal harder next time.
I've never seen that cover before.
Yeah, no, it's a
variant.
It's
yeah,
a
it says
variant.
it's
Yeah,
it's a Terracon cover.
Terrificon exclusive.
Terrific. Okay.
That's another thing that
okay.
they've been doing with a lot of base card art is pulling from variants.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's kind of the pool is endless.
I like that though because it makes the search a lot more fun too.
Yeah. Legacy 84. Right. So this will be the I can't remember his name now. Anyway, just after Dan Slott's run. Issue 3 of that run. So
Nick
before
Spencer?
That's it, Nick Spencer. So before John Romita Jr. Came in on the current kind of incarnation. But yeah, because Amazing Spider-Man's in issue 900 and something now.
Who's the artist?
Does it say? That's a good point.
I don't know.
Wesley, did you find me a listing that tells us the artist?
I did not.
You didn't,
I did
you?
not.
Come on, Wesley.
I tried.
Come on, Wesley, try. Right.
Chris Stevens.
Let me just you know what? I'm gonna try this Google Lens thing.
Keith got it.
I got it.
Oh, well, I was kind of hoping I'd just
But go ahead, do your thing.
no, just humor me. Humor me. I just want to try. I love trying this. I love trying this. Right. Did you find this results useful? I don't know. I've not looked at them yet, Google. Go away.
Right.
That's just ridiculous. Did you find these results useful? It's like, give me a chance to eat the meal before you ask me.
It should work.
Let's have a look. Right, hang on a minute.
You got it.
Here we go. Right. Where does it say they are? Oh, Chris Stevens. There we go. Right at the top in big letters, Chris Stevens. Dynamic forces. Hang on. Dynamic forces is still a thing. It's all right. Okay. That's me. I associate dynamic forces firmly with the 90s and noughties and all those like signed covers and things like that. I didn't realize that there was a brand, a thing that was still going, but here it is. Wow. Okay. Well, that's
I like the art there. I really like that Spider-Man.
Yeah, that's the way the Spider-Man looked.
I thought it was Bianchi or someone like that.
I was going to say the same thing. It looked very much like.
Yeah. And then you see the foreground. I thought, would they mix two artists? I don't know, but yeah, I like
possible.
But I like the contrast because I've got to be honest with you. I'm not massively keen on this image of her. I hated that Power Blast in 2019 Flair.
I was almost afraid to say it, but yeah.
It's just not my cup of tea. But it's one of those cards that's like, it was a pain to get at the time. And when I got it, it was kind of like one of those ones that you collect is that you're a character collector, but you kind of resent the fact that you feel pulled to buy it, if that makes any sense to anyone whatsoever. Someone else talk. I just need to have a drink.
Yeah. So I was gonna say with the earlier with those Finding Unicorn, I was researching it a little bit, looking at pictures, and I saw some of the sketch cards, and they had a very Asian look, like Japanese.
Anime
they were
style.
really, they were really cool. Oh, well, it was almost like they were set up with like mountains and stuff in the background. They try to do motion sketch cards with that background, and I thought it was really cool. So if you look at some, maybe if that's just one specific artist, or if all
Mm.
the artists did something like that, I hadn't seen anything else. The other thing I was going to talk about is, did I see that there's the new Marvel Annual is hit stores?
Oh yes, we can definitely talk about that.
Oh, that's
Because I
already.
got the checklist sent to me from our good friends at Upper Deck,
Oh,
and
wow.
it is well, what can I'll tell you what, you talk about what you know about it while I load up the checklist and I'll put it on the screen.
And just flashed me.
Because I know Cat's in it. I know Cat's in it, that's for sure.
Yeah, that base Black Cat there that's probably one of my favorites. That's for me, that's as good as it gets. I
What,
like
from the
that
Finding
happy.
Unicorn, yeah?
Yep, I
Mm,
like that happy median of
yeah,
that little bit of cartoony with the edge, with some
yeah.
nice edging to it where it's sharp. You know, yeah, that's one where I'm into that card.
It's definitely an
Beautiful.
interior panel. It's not a cover.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I was Googling Humberto Ramos Black Cat to see if I could find that image, because it does look like his style with the base, but I couldn't find one that matched up.
That makes a
So now that we
difference.
know that it's Chris Stevens, are we all gonna DM him, ask him to come on the show to get original art from him before anybody else does?
I had definitely thought about picking up that
It's the thing to do lately.
Hmm.
that comic just so I have it. You know,
Yeah, I mean, I've to be honest with you, I started going down the rabbit hole of variant covers with Black Cat on, and I've now that her solo series has stopped, I've kind of stopped doing it because every other week there's a Spider-Man one with like Black Cat variant covers, and they're like, it's just too much.
There's so many.
It's just ridiculous. And it's just doing it to make you buy the book,
And
basically.
I go through, I mean, this whole wall behind me is all variant covers.
Yeah,
Mhm.
And that's something that I've just been jumping into.
that's a dangerous rabbit hole, that's for
Yeah.
sure. Right, okay, I've
Yes, it
got the
is.
Google Sheets. So I'm just opening up the
And then
checklist
there's
from
like every con has an exclusive. There's
Yep.
every
Yeah,
shipping group has their own exclusive.
yeah.
Yes.
Then you've got the naughty ones that I don't know where the hell they come from.
Oh, they're crazy. They are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, naughty, naughty, naughty.
and then
Um,
they got the ones on. You guys do anything on the EPAC? What's that
Oh,
stuff that you can?
Oh, collect
forever.
forever. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of cool the way they got that set up. If you buy one, you have the chance of hitting the variants like in a variants in a random, and you could trade for them too, right? So like it's just
Yeah.
like the regular
Yeah.
EPAC stuff. You can trade other.
Have you been using
Um,
it a lot?
I've been using it a little bit,
For the
and
life of
it's
me, I can't figure out why they haven't migrated EPAC over to that server. It's snappy, it's quick.
oh, really?
Everything loads
Wow.
very easily.
It possibly to do
It's
with the
a
volume of stuff they've got to transfer over. If you have you have a look at the number of individual items, be they digital or physical, on the EPAC, you go to Trading Marketplace, and it is absolutely vast. I mean, it's in the hundreds of millions now, I would say.
wow,
And
wow.
it's just bonkers. And that's not assuming all the stuff that's locked, and then all the stuff that's in transfer cart. And I think the transfer cart aspect is probably the reason why they haven't done that migration yet. Because at any one time, I've always got a load of stuff in my transfer cart because I want to be able to cleanly look through my inventory.
mhm.
The stuff I know I'm going to be transferring off to ComC to then get shipped, because I don't ship directly from EPAC. And yeah, so it might be that. I don't know. I'm just speculating. I'm just thinking of immediate questions I would ask if I was going to be saying, what would you need to consider if you were going to transfer this? Well, straight away is your transfer cart, because it exists in a limbo space. You can't search it in the same way you can the EPAC site. It's clearly not in the inventory of the EPAC site. It's clearly on the system somewhere, but it's in a kind of an adjacent. It literally is. like that bit where Neo goes to in Matrix 3 before he comes back.
In the train station.
Yeah,
The train
it literally is that,
Mm.
And so at some point in my transfer cart, one of my cards is talking to a small Indian girl who turns out to be an adult computer program in the Matrix Resurrections movie that came out last year, which, by the way, I loved. And apparently they're going to make another Matrix movie. And also apparently, and this makes me feel really old, 25th anniversary of the Matrix coming out.
That is,
Yeah.
Wow.
What's
There are
that all about?
movies-
25th.
They're
there-
re-releasing it in cinemas. There's a new
Yeah,
trailer for the
that's-
re-release.
why not? Why not?
I'm up for it. The first time I saw that
Yeah.
was on my first ever trip to America.
This
In New York.
year, there's a lot of re-releases in theaters.
Yeah.
I mean, they did Spider-Man 1 and 2 recently. I went last night and saw the original Alien. We've got Lord of the Rings coming out, Matrix, a bunch of
Oh,
stuff.
Lord of the
they've
Rings was showing last year as well.
Oh yeah,
See,
well
I'd
they're doing the extended cuts in
Yeah.
theaters this year.
Oh, wow. Pulp Fiction is the one that you want to try and go and see in the cinema because that is,
God.
and this makes me feel really old. 30 years. It is the 30th anniversary of Pulp Fiction. And I just think I remember going to see that when I not long moved up to London. So anyway,
It's one of my first movie memories is the stab in the heart with it.
Oh yeah.
it's the any of you mother pigs move, I'm going to execute every mother last one of you. There we go. Anyway, that was quite restrained for me. Right, shall we have a quick look at the checklist from Marvel Annual? I apologise in advance for the fact that it is an Excel format thing, so I'm going to be kind of jumping through it a little bit. Can you see the rather dull text on my screen?
Yes.
Yes.
Right.
Mhm.
Okay. So straight away, Black Cat's in there. Now, this is weird the way the bulks, the way the stuff is written here in terms of the odds. So I have a feeling this is Hobby. That's
Oh,
EPAC. That's
number 18.
Blaster. That's Pack Wars. What's this last one? Maybe that's digital. No, that's EPAC there. So yeah, I just find I've never seen them write it that way. And then you got tech as a column and auto as a column. So yeah, 18. What was that? Chasm.
Yep.
When you were getting
Oh,
excited
there's-
about.
there
I'm
it
going to
is.
zoom in a bit more actually because it's probably a bit small. There we go. How's that? Is that better? That better
Go
for everyone?
more.
Beautiful.
Go
Beautiful.
more.
You want to zoom in a bit more? I might be able to see all the
Yeah.
width.
Do
Hang on a
do
minute.
two.
Do 200.
Yeah.
All right.
And then you can resize the set name a little bit. Drag column A over just slightly.
Yeah,
And there you go. Now everything fits.
kind of. Do this a bit. There we go. Lovely. I love it. All right, but we can kind of see the odds. Right. So let's just scroll down through. I mean, it's going to be a comic art set, so none of this is going to be original. I don't even recognize who's Brielle Brooks. See, I'm so not up to modern Marvel stuff. I've never heard of this character.
Me either.
Brielle Brooks.
Yeah,
I'm
Brielle
starting
Brooks.
to fall behind, so
Yeah.
I don't know.
Chasm. Now, who was going on about that? Is that
Me.
Gosh.
So that's the version of. There's a little
is that
controversy.
Scarlet Spider or something?
Scarlet Spider.
That's
Van
Ben,
Gogh.
right?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, that's Ben. And they're trying to right now. They're on threads and stuff like that online. It's just people wanting to see the character come back eventually because the love for Scarlet Spider. But then there's a bunch of people with like the new, the way that energy like symbiote and stuff works.
Yeah,
where
yeah.
It's a chance to throw some really, really crazy art at a character. It could be really exciting, but I'm totally torn because I love Scarlet Spider. So
Yeah, there's I did go down a rabbit hole of reading about the writer. I think his last name is Webb, right? Like that wrote this part of the story, and there's some people that were not happy with the direction that they went in and
Really?
wanting Ben to come back. Yeah. Yeah,
He'll get his
which
redemption. Let him get his redemption arc, and then they'll bring him back. You know they will.
Yeah.
Okay.
oh yeah, that's exactly what you feel like is going to happen. It's bound to happen. So this is just like a little bit of time to get some new versions of the suit that's really cool looking.
Yeah, and also the other thing too, like there's his girlfriend. What's her name? It's like she's Halloween looking figure.
Harley
Anyway,
Quinn kind of.
but
Oh,
you're talking about the
Hallows
art.
Eve or
Hallows
whatever.
Eve, yes. You're talking about the art part of it. I think there is some really cool art that has been done with both of them, or the whole, demon stuff.
Yeah.
That's my technical term.
Obviously, we don't have images for any of these just yet. So, what I find interesting about these checklists is that they always run alphabetical with the Marvel Annual. You can see they've made a substitution here.
Yep.
Ooh, that's a good eye.
So I wonder what was card 26 before it became Phoenix. Yeah. Anyway, I'm just going to leave that hanging. I'm not going to ask you all to guess, but
it's falls alphabetically in between.
Oh, it will. Yeah, yeah. So it'll be after
D or
DO
E,
and before
yeah.
EL. So it could be a low E one or someone. It could be, I don't know. Eric the Viking.
Who is Gaslamp?
And that's what I was going to go on. Exhaust and gas lamp. And it's like,
Gosh.
what's going on? Hallows Eve. Is that the character someone was talking about just now?
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. There we go. A gas lamp. You got all the hits there. Gold Goblin. You got all the hits in here. I'm looking for another gap in the spelling. Lady Bright. Who's Lady Bright? Never heard of that. Let's have a look here. Mr. Sinister.
Lady Bright, that almost
Justin Treese is going to be happy with that. Or not. Mother Righteous. Hello. She sounds like someone you wouldn't want to meet on a dark night. Scout Cersei. No major surprises here. I can't even pronounce that. Who's that?
Not even going to try.
Yeah. Talia Warroad. Okay.
A cookie.
Is Queen Goblin different than the Goblin Queen? Did you see that?
Interesting. Right, Keith, here you go. They've clearly changed X-23 to Laura Kinney.
Interesting.
Because that is where X-23 would be in the alphabet.
Now, there's not a Talon, is there? No, okay.
So interesting. Uranus the Undying. So there's obviously a couple of Starbrand. Starbrand, one word or two? I don't know. Anyway, Stick. There's a character called Stick.
No, that's
That's Stick. He trained Daredevil.
Daredevil's mentor.
Oh, of course. That's right. Yeah, sorry. Right, okay, I'm with you. I didn't realize he was still around.
Splinter.
96, the Undying Anus.
Yeah, I know exactly. Uranus. Right. So you get the gist of the character spread. So let's just have a look. I'm not going to go through all of these. Right. So you got the base set. You got blue parallel. You got canvas variant cover. You got a crystal clear parallel, gold linearity parallel, hologram parallel. So pretty much everything that last year's annual had in terms of the layout, which means there'll probably be an EPAC exclusive chase. We'll go to some of these chase sets in a minute. Number one spot.
A little bit more normal parallels.
Yeah, get ready for action sketch booklets. So they've changed them now. They're not battle booklets anymore. They're ready for action sketch booklets. And they don't appear to be character specific. Silver Sparkle parallel, and then suspended animations and top teams. So, it looks like a lot of the ones. I'm just going to scooch down here pretty quickly through the canvas, gold linearity, silver sparkle, crystal clear, ding, hologram, which are numbered to 23 this year because it's 22, 23. Purple parallel, so they're the one of ones. And then printing plates. Thank you for that. Hologram printing plates, silver sparkle printing plates. Backscatters are back.
Wait a minute. So you just blew through that. So wait a minute. We have printing plates that are just made up printing plates now?
No, they're printing plates of each of the different inserts elements.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, no, they've done this. They've done this on a number of annuals. I mean, annual before last, you had 5 different sets of printing plates if you're a character collector, because there was one for the Pack Wars version, there was one for the fractal parallel, there was one for the hologram parallel, one for the base parallel. Do you see what I mean?
So I wasn't sure if they were doing like a Planet Metal kind of thing.
Yeah, no. These are actually they actually do.
Sorry,
because the backgrounds on them have different stuff going on as well. So that's often why they do different printing.
Sorry, as you were.
This is Superheroes of the Year. This is a new little insert. So be interested to see what that's like. Anyone in there we like?
It makes sense because these are all characters that had pretty big arcs.
Wolverine and
Clear, Ghost Rider. Yeah, so
Magneto.
the Ghost Rider people will still be bleeding after Fleur Ultra Midnight Suns. They'll be pleased about this one. We've got Backscatters. Backscatters were pretty cool. People dug those. You'll be relieved to know, Wesley, Black Cat isn't in the Backscatters. But again,
those are the
similar
90s
characters.
stickers looking ones.
Venom.
Yeah.
Okay.
Creator Corner signatures. No idea what the comics featured on those are going to be, but it's a pretty similar run to last year. So you got Jason Aaron, Jed McKay,
Jr.
yeah, Jerry Duggan, Benjamin Percy, Zeb Wells, Kieran Gillen, Greg Land, Mario Cicchetto, is that how you pronounce his name? I mean, Jed McKay actually wrote the Black Cat solo series, but I don't think it's too much to hope for that we might get actually that might be a Black Cat thing because he's gone on to other Marvel stuff that's still just as popular. So it's probably one of the later things. And you got some jewels there. Creator Corner. Those Creator Corner autographs are really good value, actually, I find in general. If you're into like creator autographs or things like that, they're a really good, affordable subset to collect. You can often pick up some of the ones from the last couple of years at like $10. And some of these are pretty big creators. They tend to fly under the radar a little bit when you see things like Beginnings, and it's the same people in a lot of cases in Beginnings. Some of these, John Rita Jr., for example, Jason Aaron's in Beginnings, and yet the Beginnings ones, because of the framing of the card and the set, they're selling 50, 60, $70 still. Go to an annual set, happy days. If you're okay with sticker autos. Multiple dimensions lenticulars. I won't lie, I've never been a fan of the lenticulars in annual. So I don't know if this is going to be any different. Keith, there's your girl.
I'm just happy it's not numbered.
Then you got the SSP, so she's not in that range, which is good. Spider-Man being number 20 as well. Right, number one spot. All these issues here. A dark web. I can't remember if Black Cat's in that or not. Anyway, Hellfire Gala, that could be a fun one. Number one spot generally is a really nice looking insert. It's got
These
good
are nice
foiling.
choices. These are nice picks.
These are really nice. Some of these covers. I mean, I've seen some of these covers because I still see the stuff Midnight Suns.
Yeah.
Spider-Man. Yeah, that'll be the John Romita Jr. number one Spider-Man. Oh no, sorry, that's that one. So what's this one? There's so many Spider-Man issues. I can't keep up.
Yeah.
X-Deaths of Wolverine, X-Terminator. There's some good stuff there. And then you got here we go. Ready Fraction sketch booklets. So you've got some pretty good artists. I don't think there's anyone.
So does that mean they each got two?
Well, they're booklets. I think what it means is that they've drawn two sketches. Yeah. I think that's what that means. So yeah, because you get two panels basically. Jason Christner's been showing a lot of his stuff in group. He seems like a really cool guy. Mars Wall. Wow, people will be up for that. Hi, Miles. Drew L, who really supported episode 200. Oh, by the way, the sketch card that he did the giveaway for finally arrived at its destination recently. So I believe all parties are very happy. So Jay's Place, I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you for supporting the podcast. Who else we got here? Tim Shin. Suspiria Vilches. Hello.
Nice. I'm glad that she's latched on.
Yeah.
Rhea Owens.
Nice.
Marla Matos, Visceratos. People are going nuts for his stuff at the moment. But the interesting is
Vince has done some nasty stuff too.
Interesting. You got single panels as well.
DJ.
Chris Foreman. There you go.
Nice. There he is.
I don't think anyone will be upset about the fact that Chris Foreman's in a set.
I think he was on the sketchbook list too.
Was he?
Yeah.
So.
Was he?
Oh, hello.
Oh, yeah, look at that.
Boom.
Good shit.
There we go. We got the Keith seal of approval. Gordon Wills, nice to see Gordon on a set. Floris Hallhurst. Floris's work is really cool. He kind of had a few years out, but he was doing loads of sketch cards around Masterpieces 2018 and the sets just after that. He's a European guy. I think he's in the Netherlands. You know what? In fact, I'm probably going to put Floris's intro at the top of the audio for this episode. He's a really cool guy. I love his artwork. You should check him out. So
yeah.
Marlo Martos, who's just like on everything at the moment. Marlo not long had another baby, so I know it's a few months ago, Marlo, but congratulations, Mazel tov or whatever it is you say. Santa Yu.
Oh boy.
So yeah.
Yeah.
So now there's that. Notice it's not a deep bench of artists. That's a pretty tight list.
She's done the best Scarlet Witch sketch card I've ever seen.
What's Santa Yu?
Yeah. It sold for, I think it was 850 or 900.
Wow.
And
Okay.
it immediately it sold in less than 30 minutes. It was very impressive.
Her stuff has always been hot. It was hot when she was in Marvel Cards back on Masterpieces 07, 08. And then, with her coming back into the game with Anime 1.
If I'm not mistaken, this was a 22 masterpiece.
Yeah.
Card, and it just wow.
Yeah, it's good. Star Rookies is always it's a 5-card insert set. It just bugs me, the size of this insert set. Why is Star Brand a new rookie? Star Brand's been around since 1987.
It's probably been passed to a new Star Brand.
I know, but still. And it's 2 words, not 1. Right.
Because it can't be the character's first appearance or something in cards, being brought to cards. Because Chasm would have made this list because it's clearly a
I don't know. Like I said, I'm not up to date with it. So Spirit Rider, I imagine that's another Ghost Rider variant, another Goblin variant. It's getting a bit bonkers with all these variants. Suspended animation, people loved those last year. Black Cat is in tier 2. You'll be pleased to know, Wesley.
Yeah.
Not tier 3 or 4, thank goodness. Bay the Blood Moon. Who's Bay the Blood Moon? And that Exhaust character's in here again. So they must feel that there's legs for that character.
I looked up Exhaust. He's a Ghost Rider character.
Oh, is he? Okay, right. Yeah. Makes sense. And the tier 4s. Oh yeah, go. They're Wolverine, She-Hulk. I mean, listen, I get why they put these characters always in the most limited tier, but I really did admire the balls they had to mix it up with Masterpieces 2020 and not do that for a change. Just allow people to be able to obtain maybe a really nice card of one of those characters without having to fight it out. That's just my take on it.
People should get a chance to have their character
exactly
at some point.
What I like, it's suspended animation. They're all serial numbered as well. So, but 399 of the tier 2, that's doable. It gets a bit spicy when you get the tier 3, 199, and tier 4 is just bonkers. 99.
That's interesting. Top teams.
Top teams.
We haven't seen that in a while.
No, we haven't. And there's just it's 10 of them again.
Knights of X.
I'm not going to talk about 10s, but anyway, Knights of X, Midnight Suns, the new Fantastic Four. What happened to the old one?
2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 of them are X teams.
Who is the Brotherhood of Araco?
It's going to be Apocalypse's team.
Oh, is it?
Okay.
It sounds like something from June,
I believe.
Yes, isn't it?
Yeah. Tiger Division, is that the like Lunar Snail and White Fox and people like that?
I don't know.
Complete silence from everyone else. So who knows? Anyway, that's the end of the list, folks.
I do appreciate Ghost Rider getting a promotion.
Yeah.
No matter which one it is, it's nice to see him in that top tier.
Yeah. Well, we'll wait and see what the artwork's like. But yeah, I mean, Marvel Annual is always a fun rip. It's fun on EPAC as well. It's kind of like, when you're going for one of those chases to get, I mean, what was it this year? You got the purple and then you got the magenta, I think, when you're doing the combines. I might be getting mixed up with beginnings because they were very similar colors.
Magenta and green.
Magenta and green, that's right. Okay.
And then the reds was the Pack Wars.
Red
is that right?
was
that's
the Pack Wars,
yeah. And it keeps you busy for a couple of weeks.
I like the holograms too.
Yeah, keeps you off the streets. So yeah, it's fun. It's fun. What else we got to talk about, kids? Anything else we want to say before we bugger off on Sundays?
And what do you guys think about the new Deadpool and Wolverine?
We could have a whole
Liefeld's
episode.
feet.
We could talk
Liefeld's
a lot
feet. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
That
Whole
Yeah,
storefront,
that's
episode
funny
about
that they
that
brought
storefront,
that.
and it wasn't even a blink and you miss it thing. They lingered on that shot for a while.
Yeah.
They wanted that to land, and boy,
Yeah.
did it. Um, that was really funny. That I mean, it looks like an absolute ton of fun. And what I love is that I don't think you got it from that second trailer. You got it from the first kind of teaser. It is that it's all the conceit of the TVA, the Loki timeline, and the different variants and things that they've used that as the conceit to pull them together.
hmm
And I think that's
Yeah.
brilliant. So what I would say is, if you haven't watched Loki seasons 1 and 2, do so because it is probably
Oh
one of the
God.
best Disney Plus shows.
Totally
Yeah.
agree.
It's
Correct.
really up there. Special season 2 just absolutely
Yeah.
sticks the
Even
landing.
the soundtrack,
Yeah, the music,
100%.
the music at the end of series 2 for the final episode is just like
It's insane.
it's just flawless. If you haven't watched it, watch it because I
Yeah.
think it will really help your
The no
appreciation
spoilers,
of it.
no spoilers. Those 2 final episodes of season 2 combined are probably, you could hold that up against, I don't know how many of the last Marvel projects, whether it's movie or Disney Plus altogether, and it's better.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And I
The
think
writing, the execution of it.
Right.
it's for like all age groups too, right? I mean, like
Absolutely.
Loki's safe. Yeah, Loki's very
Oh
safe.
yeah,
Yeah.
very safe.
100%.
Yeah,
Great for the kids,
Yep.
fun, entertaining,
yeah,
So, but yeah, they did stick the landing perfectly there.
it's really good. So
I wonder how they're going to tie it into
Watch
the
that.
stuff in the future. That's
They
Well, we
did
still
such a
don't-
good job that the whole idea of what happened with the Multiverse of Madness when they did the Reed Richards and they gave us the Fantastic Four and Black Bolt and that stuff was kind of, I'm there for it because I was dying to see the X-Men get introduced to
Right.
the MCU and that arc and that bridge, but it was kind of a cop out the way that whole thing played out at the end of that movie. I thought Homeboy was going to be a fantastic Reed Richards, and
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
thinking
Oh
of him
yeah,
for 5 minutes
Krasinski.
like that.
At least they gave it to us.
Yeah. Again,
Yeah.
At least we get to
grateful.
see it.
Yep. Yeah. I was
love the
stoked.
optimism, Keith.
Yeah.
You,
Yeah.
but
No, believe me,
They-
it does bother me, but
Yeah.
I was stoked to see it, just to see any version of it, because I knew what was coming here in the future. But with Loki and the way everything plays out there, no sweat. No sweat. We'll be good. Eventually we'll get these versions of the Fantastic Four.
I think so.
You
And what I really liked was, if you haven't seen the end of the Marvels, the post-credit bit, has everyone seen the Marvels?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you've seen the post-credit scene. So if you haven't seen the Marvels, turn off now, if you're even still listening. But the post-credit bit with one of the characters being in a parallel universe, and it's Kelsey Grammer's Beast, is just like, as soon as I saw that, I was like, yes. So, and I don't think that's the same universe that the Logan from Deadpool 3 is in at all. I mean, from what I got from the Deadpool Wolverine trailer, it was this Logan is from a universe where he failed to say, everyone's gone apart from him.
Right.
It looks fun. It looks really fun.
Yeah, it does.
How did we start the episode? What were we talking about? Lethal Weapon. So you take that buddy cop dynamic, and you nail it.
Right.
Yeah.
It does look
it
it
does.
does look fun.
Doesn't this all lead into Secret Wars or something like that? Because I'm trying to remember the story arc where all of this happening is supposed to create some universal war, some multiverse war, where there's too much blending, jumping from one to the other, people from other multiverses going to ones they don't belong, and it creates some sort of
incursion.
It kind of collapses on itself, doesn't it? Yeah.
The incursion.
So I don't know about that. It could as a post credit, but this feels like them taking a flamethrower. They are burning down. They're taking a flamethrower to everything from the past and just everything Fox has ever done and just poo-pooing on it.
Yeah, I think
for the fun of doing it.
I think it's going to do more of bringing in Fox into the MCU than changing anything that's happened with the MCU.
Okay.
I think it's probably
I think
because we
I
know
think they're
Secret
gonna-
Wars is coming, so it's just how does that all tie in? And
I'm telling you, they're burning the whole universe to the ground, and all that will be left is Deadpool, maybe Wolverine.
I mean,
Because
what
they need to introduce a new Wolverine at this point, as much as we love Hugh.
yes,
Right.
So they've got to kill him.
yeah.
right.
And it looks like
Um,
there is an incursion event in the trailer because you see like a big purple cloud.
Right.
No, that's Eliath.
Yeah, I
Oh,
think
yeah,
part
yeah.
of it
Remember
is
Loki? Remember in
it's put
Loki?
together.
It's the
and-
big wolf dog monster.
Yeah, it's that big cloud monster thing from Loki.
from the end of series 1. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
yeah, in that world that what's that world called that they
Where everything goes to die. Or
Right.
that has no place.
Dead World. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah.
It's the one with alligator Loki. That's how
There was a
planet
Kang-
alligator, as far as I'm concerned.
There was a Kang Avengers Tower there. There was an Avengers Tower in the background that had K with the Avengers A and G.
Oh,
Nice.
I missed
The
it.
space station
Nice.
from the Marvels is in there too.
Yes.
I heard
The
it's confirmed,
Thanos,
like
the Thanos copter,
Mm-hmm.
one of the weirdest ones they
Oh,
had in there.
wow.
Yeah,
Jennifer
the Thanos
Garner
helicopter.
that is going to be. I heard, but am I right? Like they've confirmed Jennifer Garner is going to be in the Deadpool
Yeah,
2.
he's just killing everybody.
Yeah.
Jennifer Garner's in Deadpool 3.
Yes. Yeah, she's
yeah,
in
it's
it.
the old Electra.
Arr. Sorry, did I just do that out loud? Apologies. The I love the Daredevil movie. I know I shouldn't, but and Amanda will throw rocks at me for this, but I love the Affleck Daredevil movie so much.
Oh wow.
I really liked it. I
Yeah.
might watch it again
Oh
this
boy.
week. I know, don't judge me too harshly. I was going to say something prescient and wonderful, but I've completely forgotten it. Yes, that's it. So if they're whatever they do or don't do with Kang going forward, whether they recast or whether they just quietly let that one fade away, because they could do, Beyonder. Is Beyonder going to be a character? And if so, who would you cast as the Beyonder to give it a bit of oomph? It's got to be
David
someone
Hasselhoff.
charming.
David Hasselhoff.
David Hasselhoff. Can he still pull it off, you reckon?
I think he looks like him.
Yeah, I know, but he wasn't that old.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is
Hasselhoff is starting to look his years now.
I've seen
Yeah.
some Beyonders that are, but they're mostly like what guy in like mid-20s to early
Yeah.
30s, like a younger.
I tell you who could pull it off, Justin Theroux.
Oh, he's
Yeah.
a great actor.
He'd be really good. Have you seen The Leftovers? It
I
was the
have,
most
yes.
nutty series, but
I
it was
tried.
yeah,
Yeah,
it was it was challenging. But I enjoyed it.
yeah, that was crazy. That was
Yeah.
it made me that made me think. I did find I know this is from a few episodes ago, but I found my perfect Black Cat actor.
Nice.
For me, if Mila Kunis was
Okay.
that's for me,
Okay.
that's
Yeah.
she's so hot.
And it works, and she looks like her.
You guys know who I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I know who you're talking
Yeah.
about.
Really?
I just don't- I just
Really?
don't agree.
Come on.
The silence
Yes.
was more about like in the mind
We were
picturing.
thinking.
Right.
It wasn't. Yeah, no one was drawing a blank.
Yeah. No, someone threw up Sydney Sweeney. Not literally threw her up. That would be interesting to watch.
There's a
In
lot
our-
of chatter about
in
that,
our cat
actually.
chat the other day, yeah, because there's been a story online
She
about
does a
it.
movie with Natalie Portman. We don't need to talk about much about, but there's a movie with the two of them together. You just look it up and give that a watch.
Okay,
Very well.
all right. Oh, well, I'll
Sydney
add that to my
Sweeney
list.
and Natalie Portman.
Yes, no, please, seriously, if you haven't seen it, it doesn't matter what the movie's about.
Yeah,
Just
well,
put, their two names,
yeah.
put their two names into Google and you know, yeah.
If
Oh,
we're jumping
gosh.
into MCU speculation, The Rock had a weekend with Feige recently.
Ah,
Really?
I think he's going to be in Apocalypse.
What?
wow.
Ooh,
I get in the rock. Okay.
ooh.
Going to be Apocalypse?
Yeah, I think so. That's my
Ooh.
guess.
That could work, but I want not Egyptian Apocalypse, tubes coming out Apocalypse.
Oh, yeah. We've
Yeah,
made those
giant-
mistakes. Again, this is why Deadpool 3 is happening. We're burning that universe down.
Right.
Very good
Okay. Now,
Yeah.
now,
Very good
now I
point.
like the potential there because I mean, Apocalypse, Omega Red. There's just a few characters there that could be wild.
Batista, possibly Omega Red.
That works.
Wow. So
I thought
another
he was.
character
I
in the
thought he was
MCU.
kind of done with the Marvel stuff.
He
Well,
wants
with
he
with
wants something
Drax.
with more depth, I think. Which I don't know if Omega Red's going to give him more depth,
I don't
but
think.
Mm. It's
I
hardly
think
Shakespeare, is it?
yeah.
he had some depth with Drax though. I mean that character
Eh,
went through an arc.
I guess so. Well, I guess he did, yeah. But I mean, the Guardians of the Galaxy movies are about as deep as a puddle in your backyard.
No, but I
Yeah.
mean you
Um,
had the guy that's lost his family, and at the end of it, spoiler, he embraces that he was meant to be a father.
And he was
You know.
yeah, and he was exhausted by the makeup process. So I think with
yeah,
Omega Red, there's a lot more CGI
yeah,
application,
yeah, yeah.
so it might be easier to
I was
portray
just
it.
so yeah, I just say Guardians 3. I just really didn't like it. I like Will Poulter. I like Will Poulter doing his thing as Warlock. That was fun.
As Warlock, yeah.
And the Elizabeth Debicki as Aisha coming
Mhm.
back as his mum. I thought that was clever that she kind of got a bit of closure from just appearing in that one scene and then Upper Deck pinning like 50 different variant autograph cards on her, and it's like she's only been in one scene. Why is she in all these
Yeah.
sets? But
I had a
kind
tough time with all the Rocket stuff. Like
of, I was just like,
it's tough.
I think I'm a bit James Gunned out, to be honest with you.
Well, we're going to get more James Gunn here
I
pretty
know. Well, he's
soon.
going to be on the DC side. Listen,
Yeah.
I'm a Snyder fan, so you know, yeah. Don't get me
Did you,
started, but Man
did
of
you do Rebel
Steel.
Moon yet?
Did you like Rebel
Yeah, I
Moon?
watched it this week on the train journeys.
I haven't seen
Um,
the second one yet, so
I
Okay, so no spoilers. I liked one better.
yeah, I thought they would. I thought I won't lie. I think they're deeply flawed as films. But I love the I love the visuals. I love the style. Some of the performances I could kind of do without.
You know the story
Um,
behind it, right?
I don't. Before you tell me what that is, the one thing I will say is that I did feel that they had been edited a lot.
Well, he's already said that there's going to be like a 3 hour
Well, that's what I'm saying,
Snyder
and so
cut chaos.
because of that, they don't work. So it's not like with it's not
I
like with
Justice League.
what was
I
it?
love his cut of
Justice League.
Justice League.
But
I
that's the thing. I
hated it
haven't.
in the theaters.
That's the thing. I haven't
Agreed.
seen it yet. I haven't seen his cut of it. But the thing is,
oh,
the cut of Justice League that came out in the cinema wasn't his cut.
It
The
was
cuts
terrible.
of Rebel Mean that have come out on Netflix are his cuts. Do you see what I mean?
But Netflix has given him criteria for how they wanted it to come out, so he's had to live within their
Yeah, I know, but
rules.
that's. I wish I'd known that before I'd watched them because I would have waited.
Gotcha.
Does that make sense?
Right.
Yeah.
I would have waited. So yeah, Zack Snyder's Justice League. I'm gonna get it on Blu-ray. I'm gonna wait until the wife and kid are out of town for a few days. I'm just gonna sit down in a darkened room, box of tissues in case I cry, and I'm just gonna watch it. And I'm gonna enjoy the shit out of it. I
So
might
these
even do Man
were
of Steel beforehand.
these Rebel Moons, they were originally a Star Wars movie, a trilogy pitched to Disney. They told him to
Okay.
F off, and he turned around and said, I'm just gonna make my own goddamn fucking movie then.
Right. Okay.
And you
Yeah.
and watch it now, thinking that in your head.
Yeah. Oh, the parallels. Oh, they
And the
weren't
way
lost on
that
me.
you'll watch it
Yeah.
now will completely change. Like I enjoyed it more knowing that.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Yeah.
I didn't know that. I didn't know
Yes.
that. But the parallels were there.
He
Yes.
took his ball and said "F you, Disney," and
But honestly,
found someone else.
I wanted it to be. I wanted it to be. It felt like pulled punches. I wanted it to be bloodier. I wanted it to be more violent. I got the feeling there was a lot edited out. There was a lot of cuts, that were just cut just before stuff happened. And so yeah, so for me, it kind of felt like it was Snyder light. Diet Snyder.
Considering Sucker Punch, the violence level that's in
Yeah,
that,
exactly. And
that's
Dawn of the Dead and
yeah,
Watchmen.
yeah. You're right. You're right.
You see what I
Yeah.
mean? It felt
It
like
was
Diet
very,
Snyder.
it was very PG.
And I,
Well, I think the
I love
I
Zack
think the
Snyder's.
director's cuts are going to be R rated.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope so. I want to see Jamon Hounsou's character, doing a naked bath with one of the farmers towards the end of the movie. And they cut just before they got to that scene. But who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Anyway, Deadpool Wolverine at the cinema soon. Go and see it. They need no help from us whatsoever. Rebel Moon on Netflix probably need a little bit of help from us because I would like to see the part 3 that I think is probably going to come.
Yeah,
I would like to see that because there's a major thing that's left hanging. I'm not going to say what it is because I can't remember which one of you said they haven't seen part 2 yet.
Yeah.
But
I think that Loki season 3 has been announced.
Hmm.
That they've already announced that they're doing.
Wow.
Really?
Okay. I thought they'd leave that
I
one.
thought that was finito. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
honestly, I thought they'd walk away knowing they've done a good job. And
absolutely, you totally fine. They could end it right where
Yeah.
they did. And no one would have an issue at all.
But it kind of
was-
wouldn't make sense to remove him from where he ended up at the end of season 2. I don't know.
Well, with some of the very last stuff, they've kind of there's a line. I won't spoil anything, so anyone look it up. The comic book story arc with what Loki winds up being called and transitions to.
Okay,
but,
all
right. It does seem like they could fit one more season in there.
Okay, all right.
Well, with the comic book story arc. So
I'll watch more of Tom Hiddleston doing that character and in that like world that they built for that series. I will quite happily watch more of that. But
Yeah.
I really don't want them to stuff up, it's not, I don't want them to Godfather Part 3 it.
No, yeah.
And I like Godfather Part 3. Don't get me wrong.
Don't do it if there's not enough meat there. If there's not enough.
Yeah. Walk away. And, it's not like you've left money on the table. They put everything out there, and it worked. I was watching that series thinking, how are they going to wrap it up? How are they possibly going to wrap this up? And
Can you think of what our lives would be like if they didn't extend and make the Loki season? I mean, like when they just left like him after, the end of the Avengers. It just adds so much to it. The Loki seasons 1 and 2 add so much to it. And I don't mean
when the event happened in the Avengers movie, it was happening so fast. None of us stopped to think of what the ramifications of him bending down, grabbing a cube could have been and spawned into.
Yeah. No, I love it. All right, guys. I guess we better wend our way to the shore, get out of our lazy riverboat, and
I won't bring up X-Men 97 then. I was thinking about.
Oh well, no, yeah. To be honest with you, that might have to be an episode that I sit out. To be honest with you, I'll let you guys just do that one on your own.
Man, that has
I've
been a fun watch.
Yeah. Sorry.
Okay. All right. I'll take your word for that. Kids. We can talk about it briefly after we stop recording. But until then, until next time, folks, thank you very much for listening. Josh, you haven't been here for a while, so I'd like you to sign us off this week, if you don't mind.
All right, everyone. Enjoy collecting.